Stop. If you've ever ordered a sandwich from Subway, you've been scammed. Employees have exposed shocking secrets about what's really inside your sub, and number 3 will make you sick. Watch to the end to find out how to get a Subway meal for almost free. Subway serves nearly 7 million sandwiches a day, but what if I told you many of them are a ripoff? We analyzed hundreds of receipts and uncovered insider confessions from Subway workers, and what we found is disturbing. On Reddit, employee revealed, "We're told to serve expired veggies and double-charge customers without them knowing. The average American spends over $1,000 a year on fast food. Don't be the next victim." Quick poll. Have you ever noticed your sandwich looking off? Comment, scam, if you've been ripped off before. Number 1. The fake fresh ingredients scam. Subway's slogan might say, "Eat fresh," but employees have revealed a different reality, one that might make you think twice before biting into your sandwich. While customers assume they're getting crisp lettuce, juicy tomatoes, and fresh onions, workers say many of these ingredients are days or even weeks old before they're replaced. One former employee admitted on Reddit, "We're supposed to swap out veggies daily, but managers push us to stretch them as long as possible. If they start looking bad, we just rinse them off and put them back." That means the lettuce on your sandwich could be over a week old, barely held together by a quick spray of water. And it's not just lettuce. Tomatoes often arrive unripe and rock hard, so they're left sitting at room temperature for days to soften up. The result? Mushy, flavorless slices that barely resemble real tomatoes. Cucumbers? Those can last even longer. Employees say they sometimes slice them up at the beginning of the week and just keep rotating them in the bins. What's worse is that some locations reuse leftovers from the previous day, mixing old veggies with fresh ones to make them look better. If you've ever noticed a weirdly soggy or slimy texture in your sandwich, this could be why. But it gets worse. Some employees claim they've been told to hide spoiled veggies underneath fresher ones to keep customers from noticing. And that's just the beginning. Number 2, the tuna, that's not tuna. For years, Subway has marketed its tuna sandwich as a fan favorite, but shocking investigations have revealed a disturbing truth. It may not even contain real tuna at all. In 2021, a lab test by the New York Times found 0 traces of tuna DNA in multiple Subway tuna samples. Instead of fresh, flaky fish, the test detected a mysterious mix of proteins and additives, raising the question, what are we actually eating? Employees have backed up these findings, with one worker admitting on Reddit, "The tuna comes in a vacuum-sealed bag, looking like gray sludge. We just scoop it out, mix it with mayo, and serve it up." If you thought you were getting high-quality seafood, think again. Some reports suggest it's made from a blend of cheap fish scraps and artificial flavoring. The controversy even led to a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, with customers claiming they were misled into paying for something that wasn't real tuna. Subway has denied these allegations, but repeated investigations continue to cast doubt on their claims. And here's the worst part, since the tuna is pre-mixed, there's no way for employees to tell how fresh it really is. Some former workers warn that it can sit in the fridge for days, or even weeks, before being replaced. If you've ever noticed a strange aftertaste or mushy texture, now you know why. But the real horror? Some Subway workers say they refuse to eat it themselves. Number 3, the reused meat trick. Subway promises freshly sliced, high-quality deli meats, but behind the counter, employees tell a different story, one that might make you rethink your next order. Instead of using freshly cut turkey, ham, or roast beef, some locations have been caught recycling old, dried-out meat instead of throwing it away. A former worker exposed this on Reddit, saying, "If the meat looks dried out or discolored, we just spray it with water to make it look fresh again." That means the turkey or ham in your sandwich could have been sitting out for hours, or even days, before it ends up on your sub. And it doesn't stop there. Employees also claim that pre-sliced meats, like roast beef and salami, aren't always stored properly. Instead of being discarded at the end of the day, they're often wrapped back up and tossed in the fridge, only to be reused the next morning. This leads to slices that lose their flavor, dry out, or even develop a slimy texture. The worst offenders? Cold-cut combos and party trays. Since they contain multiple meats, employees mix in older slices with newer ones so customers don't notice. One worker admitted, "If a customer doesn't ask, we just use whatever's left from the day before." If you've ever taken a bite of your sandwich and thought, "This doesn't taste right," you're not imagining things. Number 4, the shrinking sub scam. Remember when a foot-long sandwich actually measured 12 inches? Turns out, many Subway customers have been paying full price for less food, and they didn't even realize it. This scam went viral in 2013 when customers started measuring their subs and discovered something shocking. Many Subway footlongs were actually only 10 or 11 inches long. The backlash was so massive that a class action lawsuit was filed against the company. Subway claimed the size difference was due to natural variations in baking, but former employees have a different explanation. One ex-worker admitted on Reddit, "We're trained to stretch the dough as little as possible to save costs. If a sandwich looks short, we just fluff up the bread and hope no one notices. This means you might be getting 15% less food than you paid for, and still being charged the full price." Even after the lawsuit, customers kept finding shorter sandwiches, proving that the problem never really went away. One viral TikTok showed a Subway sandwich measuring just 9.5 inches, leaving customers furious. So how do you avoid this scam? Employees suggest bringing a ruler. If your sub is too short, you can demand a remake or a refund. But Subway hopes you won't notice, because most people just unwrap their sandwich and start eating. And while this scam is sneaky, number 5 is even worse. It's an outright way to charge you extra without you even realizing it. Number 5. The hidden upcharge trick. Think your Subway meal deal includes all the toppings you want? Think again. Many customers don't realize they're being silently overcharged for basic add-ons like avocado, bacon, and even extra cheese, items that should be included in certain promotions but mysteriously show up as extra charges on the receipt. A former employee exposed this on Reddit. "Managers tell us to upcharge whenever possible. If a customer doesn't ask, we charge them full price, even if their meal deal is supposed to include it." That means if you don't carefully check your total, you could be paying an extra $2 to $3 per sandwich without even knowing it. One of the worst offenders? Avocado. Many locations display signs advertising that it's included in premium sandwiches, but at checkout, customers still get hit with a $1.50 to $2 charge. If you don't speak up, Subway just pockets the extra cash. And here's where it gets even sneakier. Some employees ring up extras at full price instead of meal deal discounts. One frustrated customer shared, "I ordered a foot-long meal with bacon, and they charged me $2 extra. When I asked, they acted like it was a system error and fixed it, but only because I caught them." So next time you order, watch the screen carefully and call out any unexpected charges. Because if you don't, Subway will gladly take your money. But number 6? This one is so deceptive, it makes customers think they're getting a deal, when in reality, they're getting scammed. Number 6, the double meat scam. Ever paid extra for double meat at Subway? You might want to check your sandwich more closely because many customers aren't getting what they paid for. Subway advertises that when you order double meat, you'll receive twice the protein. But former employees say that's rarely the case. One Reddit worker admitted, "We're told to make it look like double meat, but in reality, it's only about 30 to 50% more." So how does Subway pull this off? Instead of actually doubling the amount, some employees simply spread out the slices more to make the sandwich look fuller. If you've ever noticed your extra turkey or roast beef looking strangely thin, you've probably been shorted. And if you order steak or chicken, it gets worse. A former worker exposed that some locations use smaller scoops for double meat orders. "If a customer doesn't ask, we just use the same scoop size and charge them extra," they revealed. That means you could be paying up to $3 to $4 more for just a tiny bit of extra protein. So how do you avoid this scam? Employees suggest asking them to weigh the meat in front of you. If they hesitate, there's a good chance you're being ripped off. But if you thought that was bad, number 7 is even worse. It's an outright trick to make you think you're saving money, when in reality, you're losing more than you think. Number 7, the fake coupon trap. Think you're saving money by using Subway coupons? Think again. Many customers have discovered that Subway locations quietly refuse to honor certain deals, or worse, sneak in hidden charges when you use them. A frustrated customer shared their experience on Reddit. "I had a buy one, get one free coupon, but when they rang me up, they charged me extra for toppings I never asked for. When I pointed it out, the cashier just shrugged." This isn't an accident. Some locations intentionally overcharge customers who use discounts. Another common trick? Subway employees ring up the coupon after scanning your items, then increase the price of your original sandwich to make up for the discount. One ex-worker admitted, "We were told to adjust the price slightly so the store wouldn't lose money." Most people don't notice because they assume their coupon worked correctly. And here's something even worse. Some Subway franchises flat out refuse to take corporate-issued coupons, even though they're supposed to. If you've ever been told, sorry, we don't accept that coupon at this location. It's not because the system won't allow it, it's because the owner wants to maximize profits. So next time you use a coupon, watch the screen carefully and double-check your receipt. Because if you don't, you might be paying more instead of saving. But number 8? This one is even sneakier. It's a scam that tricks customers into paying for something they thought was free. Number 8. The drink refill scam. Think your large drink comes with free refills? At many Subway locations, that's just another misleading trick designed to make you spend more. Subway restaurants often advertise unlimited refills for dine-in customers, but former employees have exposed that some locations intentionally deny them to cut costs. One Reddit worker admitted, "We were told to tell customers it's one refill only, even though the sign says otherwise." Most people don't argue, so they just buy another drink. Even worse, some locations remove the self-serve soda machines entirely and force customers to ask employees for refills. If you've ever been told, "Sorry, we can't do refills," even when the sign says otherwise, you've been scammed. And here's another sneaky trick. Subway quietly shrunk their drink sizes at certain locations while keeping the prices the same. A former manager revealed, they swapped out the old large cups for smaller ones, but the price didn't change. If customers don't notice, they just pay more for less. So how do you avoid this scam? Always check the store's refill policy before ordering, and if an employee refuses to honor it, ask to speak with a manager. Because if you don't, you might be paying extra for something that should have been free. But if you thought that was sneaky, number 9 is even worse. It's a scam so bad that some customers have taken Subway to court. Number 9. The fake, freshly baked bread scam. Subway markets its sandwiches as being made with freshly baked bread, but here's the dirty secret. It's not as fresh as you think. While the smell of baking bread fills the store, most locations don't actually make it from scratch. Instead, employees simply heat up frozen, pre-made dough that was shipped in from a factory. A former worker admitted on Reddit, "The dough arrives frozen in boxes and we just throw it in the proofer and oven. It's not freshly made, it's just pre-baked somewhere else." But it gets worse. Some Subway stores reuse old bread instead of tossing it out. If a batch doesn't sell one day, employees have been told to reheat it the next morning to make it seem fresh. One former employee revealed, "If the bread isn't rock hard, we just warm it up and serve it again." Most customers never notice. And in some locations, bread can sit out for hours, drying out before it ever makes it into your sandwich. That's why some customers complain about crumbly, stale bread, even when they order early in the day. So next time you smell that fresh bread at Subway, just know it might be reheated leftovers. But that's not even the worst part. #10 is so outrageous that customers have filed lawsuits over it. Number 10. The chicken that's not really chicken. Think you're getting real grilled chicken in your Subway sandwich? You might be shocked to learn what's actually inside. Investigations have revealed that Subway's chicken isn't 100% chicken at all, and in some cases, it's barely even half real meat. A CBC Marketplace study tested Subway's chicken and found that the oven-roasted chicken contained only 53% actual chicken DNA. The rest was a mix of soy, fillers, and preservatives. Their chicken strips? Even worse, only 43% chicken. This means you're paying for a product that's nearly half fake. Former employees backed this up, with one admitting, "The chicken comes frozen in bags and looks nothing like real chicken breast. It's pre-cooked, heavily processed, and has a weird rubbery texture." And here's the worst part. Some customers have noticed an odd aftertaste or spongy texture in their chicken sandwiches. That's because Subway's chicken is loaded with additives to make it seem juicier and fresher than it actually is. Subway denied the lab findings, claiming their chicken is 100% real, but the damage was done. Customers were furious, and some even filed lawsuits over the misleading advertising. So next time you order a chicken sandwich at Subway, you might want to think twice. But if you thought this was bad, what's coming next is even worse. Subway's biggest controversy yet? Subway doesn't want you to know this. These scams prove that Subway's "Eat Fresh" slogan isn't as fresh as you think. From fake ingredients to hidden charges, they're cutting corners, and you're the one paying for it. But here's the thing. This is just the beginning. There are even more shocking secrets Subway doesn't want you to know, and we're exposing them next. Comment below. Have you ever noticed something shady at Subway? Drop a scam in the comments if you've been tricked. Subscribe now so you don't miss our next video, because what we're exposing next is even bigger. Turn on notifications before this video mysteriously disappears.